Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be going through composite functions. Now if you haven't watched the previous video which was on inverse functions, go and watch that first because as I'm sure you're aware, functions is a big topic. You're going to need to know all these different components so that you'll be able to bring them together to solve the question. So I'll put the link in the description below or on the top, whatever, whichever way, right? But watch that first if you haven't watched it, because this one is just going to be based on composite function, and in the next one we'll bring all of them together to know, for you guys to know how to solve these questions, right? So again, I've given 3 different examples. So if you can see, it starts on basic, medium, and hard. Now, my questions that I give tend to be a lot harder than the exam. So the more advanced ones, if you're able to do it, or I guess understand it and then do it, the exam questions are not going to be that easy. Not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that hard. Okay, clearly can't talk today. So yeah, so if you're able to do the advanced questions that I give in these kind of videos, you'll be able to understand a lot more, and the algebra in it is a lot more in detail compared to the exam questions. So I tend to do that with my students when I teach them. I tend to give them a lot harder stuff, and I'm going to do the same here. So let's get straight to it. So the thing about composite functions, right? Now we have these questions. Composite functions basically means when you're putting one function into another, essentially, right? So if we look at this, the first one is saying find fg of x. We have 2 functions, f and g, right? All you need to do here is essentially you're going to take your second function, the g, right, which is this, and you're going to sub that g function inside the f function where you see x. So what do I mean by that? Let me show you. So essentially, this is my g function, right? This 2x minus 1. I'm going to take this function and I'm going to sub it inside the f function where I see x. So essentially, this 2x minus 1 is going to go here where I see x squared. And it's also going to go here where I see x. So instead of x, you're going to have 2x minus 1. So let me show how that works. So you're going to have 3 bracket, right, plus 2 bracket, and then plus 1. Now, in those brackets, originally, you had x squared and x. But now you're not going to have that. Now you're going to have 2x minus 1 squared, yeah, and then 2x minus 1 again. So what you can see here, and this is fg of x, by the way, yeah? So what you can see here essentially is I'm taking the 2x minus 1 for my g function and putting inside the x of the f function. So wherever I see x in the f function, it now becomes 2x minus 1. And that's how you find composite function. You take the second function, which is your g of x, and sub it inside the first function, which is f of x. So now it's pretty straightforward. We're going to expand and simplify. So what we have here is 3 bracket 2x minus 1 squared means you're going to times it by itself, and then you expand this. So 2 times 2x is 4x, 2 times minus 1 is minus 2, and obviously don't forget the plus 1. So if we was to expand this bracket 2x minus 1 and 2x minus 1, we should get 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 plus 4x, and then minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. And now what we're going to do is we're going to times this out. So we're going to say 3 times 4x squared, which is 12x squared, 3 times minus 4x, which is minus 12x, and then 3 times 1, which is 3, plus 4x minus 1. If I was to simplify this, that gives me 12x squared minus 12x plus 4x is minus 8x, and then 3 minus 1 is 2. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my fg of x function. That's it. That's the answer. So essentially what you're looking at is you're putting the second function inside the first function, and then all it is just expanding and simplifying. That's all there is to it in the algebra here. Now, if we look at the second one, what I've done is I've just kind of been a bit, annoying. I put a fraction, right? So again, it says find fg of x. So we're going to take our g function, right? So let me use a different color. We're going to use our g function and we're going to put that in. It's still black. I'm going to use my g. I'm going to take my g function and put that inside the f function. So my g is x plus 4. I'm going to take that now and I'm going to sub it in my first function, which is f, where I see x, which is here and also here, right? So when we rewrite this, we're going to have fg of x equals to, now instead of the x here, I'm going to have x plus 4, right? Let's use blue, and then we have minus 1 over 2 times x. But x is what? X plus 4, right? If like this, right? Because essentially all the x's in the f function now becomes x plus 4 because I'm subbing the g inside there. So now what we do is just simplify. So we'll have fg of x equals to, it's meant to be black. So x stays the same. 4 minus 1 is 3 over 2 times x is 2x, and then 2 times 4 is 8. That's my function. Composite function, should I say. That's it. That's the answer, fg of x, right? Subbing that inside the f function. Now, the third one, this is more advanced, okay? This is where you're going to need algebraic fraction as well. There's a bit of algebra in here. So don't worry if you don't understand this. You play the video back again if you're not sure, or I'll put it down in the comments. But this is a very advanced one in terms of how you solve this. So mux, again, now this time we're going to take our second function, which is u, and we're going to take the u function, and then we're going to sub that inside the first function, which is m. So essentially, all of this 2x over x minus 2, I'm going to sub that inside where I see x, which is here, and on the bottom here, right? So what we'll have essentially is, I'm going to put some space here, mux is equals to, so I'm going to have 3, the bracket, minus 1, and this is going to look ugly, but just bear with me, over 2 bracket, plus 1, right? Remember, these were x's originally, but now what we're going to have is we're going to have our 2x over x minus 2, and then here as well we're going to have our 2x over x minus 2. So I know this looks, it might look like, what the heck is this? Like, this is just so ugly, but hold up, watch out how I'm going to simplify this one by one, one step at a time, right? So first what we do, this bracket means times, so I'm going to do 3 times 2x, which is 6x, over x minus 2. Remember, do not times the 3 by x minus 2. You can't do that. You only times the 3 by the numerator, right? And then we have minus 1 over, let's do the same thing on the bottom, 2 times 2x, which is 4x, over x minus 2, plus 1. Okay? Now, all this means, essentially, this line just means it's a divide line. So essentially, what we can do is we can rewrite this like this. So 6x over x minus 2 minus 1 in a bracket, and this line means divide, right? So I'm going to have divide, and then on the bottom, which is going to be 4x over x minus 2 plus 1, right? So now what we need to do is we need to simplify this. So we need to find the lowest common multiple. So if we look at this one here, the lowest common multiple between x minus 2 and 1 is x minus 2. Now, if you're not sure about algebraic fractions, I'll find the previous videos that I did on this and put the links in the description or on top there for you guys to check those out as well, because you need to know how to do algebraic fraction to do this. So lowest common multiple is x minus 2, and then we have a minus, I'll put minus here, and then we cross multiply. So 6x times 1 is 6x, and then we have minus 1 times x minus 2, right? Divided by, let's do the same thing for the next fraction. The lowest common multiple between x minus 2 and 1 is also x minus 2. Then we cross multiply. So 4x plus 1 times x minus 2, right? Because we're cross multiplying. So like this. So now what we can simplify this. So we have 6x minus 1 times x is minus x, minus 1 times minus 2 is plus 2, over x minus 2. Now what I'm going to do is divide. If you know, I don't know, some of the students, they say KFC or something, I don't know. Divide basically just means times, right? And then you flip it. So x minus 2 goes on the top, over 4x stays here, and then 1 times x minus 2 is just going to be x minus 2, so plus x minus 2. So now we can simplify. 6x minus x is 5x plus 2 over x minus 2 times x minus 2 over 4x plus x is 5x minus 2. Now, we just nearly finished, so just bear with me. Now, all we need to do, right, when we're timesing, if you remember, when we're timesing, we can see if we can simplify anything diagonally or top and bottom. I see an x minus 2 and x minus 2 diagonally. I can cross this out. Gives me 1 because I can divide both of them together, right? So all I'm left with is 5x plus 2 over 5x minus 2. And no, you cannot cancel it out because look, there's a plus and a minus, so they're not the same. But that is your answer. So you can see there's quite a bit of working out there, right? So if you weren't sure, just play the video back again, take it step by step. But if you're able to do questions like this in functions, man, you'll see it's not going to be that hard, okay? But this is a bit more advanced. But first, understand the basics before getting into this stuff. So what I'm going to do now is, you guys can take notes. I will give you guys a couple of questions for you guys to try, and I'll show you the work solutions for those. So here are the questions. Have a go at them and then see the work solutions. So for this one, the first one, g, we're going to take our g function and we're going to put it inside the f function. So this 3x minus 2 is going to go inside the x squared and the x. So essentially, we're going to have fg of x is equals to 2 bracket, instead of the x squared, I'm going to have 3x minus 2 squared minus 3. Instead of that bracket, I'm going to have 3x minus 2 minus 2. So now if we expand that 3x minus 2 squared, because it's timesing it by itself, we're going to get what? 9x squared minus 12x plus 4. And then if we expand this, that's going to give us minus 9x plus 6 minus 2. So let's times everything by 2. So that's 18x squared minus 24x plus 8 minus 9x, and then 6 minus 2 is 4. If we simplify this, 18x squared minus 24 minus 9 is minus 33x plus 12. That should be your FG of x. Okay, now the next one, we're going to take u and we're going to sub inside the m. So we're going to take all of this and we're going to sub inside where we see x here and here. So the way we're going to rewrite this is mux is equals to, so 2 bracket, instead of the x, we're going to have 3x over 2x plus 3, and then bracket minus 3 over, instead, if you don't want to write the line, you can just write divide, right? If it makes it easier for you, 3, instead of the bracket here, we're going to have 3x over 2x plus 3, and then minus 1. So we need to times this out. So 2 times 3x is 6x over 2x plus 3 minus 3 divided by 3 times 3x, which is 9x over 2x plus 3 minus 1 over 1. Because now I'm going to simplify. I'm going to find the lowest common multiple. So lowest common multiple between 1 and 2x plus 3 is 2x plus 3. And we're going to cross multiply. 6x times 1 is 6x. And then minus 3 times 2x plus 3, right? Divided by, again, lowest common multiple here is going to be the same, 2x plus 3. Cross multiply, 9x times 1 is 9x. And then minus 1 times 2x plus 3. So if we expand that, 6x, so minus 3 times 2x is minus 6x. So 6x minus 6x cancels 0. And then we have minus 3 times 3, which is minus 9 over 2x plus 3. Remember, divide means times, and then we flip. So that's over 2x plus 3. And then minus 1 times 2x is minus 2x. 9x minus 2x is 7x. And then minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. Now, final step for this composite function. Remember, we can cancel this and this out because it's exactly the same. So then we're left with minus 9 over 7x minus 3. And that should have been your answer. So if you got this, well done. I mean, I can go harder, but again, it's up to you guys, right? I can go a lot harder than this as well. But again, you've got to look at it this way. The harder you're able to do a question, the easier the exam would be, because you're exposing yourself to a lot more of a harder steps and methods that you wouldn't have been exposed before. So it is a good thing for you. Even if you're struggling, it's a good thing to just get your mind to, you doing these kind of questions. Right, so this covers really composite functions, how it works. And the next one, you will see how we're going to bring inverse functions and composite functions together to be able to solve a bit more complex problems, I guess. So as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.